these are basically spots that have a little bit of body work that needs to be done. So I sanded the top of this fender. I'm heading down the side, so I wanted to show you. Let's see. Basically, this is the original blue, and then it was primed, and then it was painted again, and then it was primed and painted again. So there's one paint job, two paint jobs, and then the original paint job. And that's not including what I sprayed right here that I'm taking all off. So that would be actually, it'd be 1, 2, 3, and then the original. So I'm just taking all these layers down to basically the original. Here's the metal, and here's the original red primer, and here's actually the original paint. But all this light colored stuff I want to take off, because I want to get it down to at least just the original paint. That's what I'm doing. So basically, dark blue is what I want to get off. This will be the factory blue, and there's the original epoxy. So let me set this stuff right here. I'll just start going to town. See, I'm kind of tilting it, kind of putting some pressure, tilting on it. And once I get the main blue part off, then I'll... You can see there's some gray primer. I need that off too. This side all sanded the rest of the hood. This, I just took a wire, this little wire wheel, just to sand that down a little bit. This stuff's all basically down to bare metal, so when I get down in here I'll end up sanding most of that off. So here it is. just have to sand just a little bit in here, right in here, just a little bit on the edge, and then most of all this, I sanded a little bit of that, so I just have to sand that just lightly. All the bottoms of the rockers are all sanded down. So I sanded in there. Sanded all my edges. So those are about ready to go. Hold this back, sand a little bit in there. Just need a little bit more sanding, not much. Both sides about done. Sanded on the bottom side of this all the way through. So there's a little bit of body work I gotta fill in here to make this all match. But this is basically ready to go, so I just hand sand all of this in here, get this all down to bare metal, and then finish off my filler in there. So I just wanted to show you where I'm at so far. Cleaned up the floor. So I sanded inside the gas door, sanded all inside all these pockets, sanded all my edges and my metal. I sanded back inside here where you can't sand with the DA. I sanded all in these pockets, all on the edges of the door. Might need a little bit more sanding, but the doors are shut, so can't sand too much yet. So there's the rocker. So basically all underneath there is basically down to bare metal. Just have to do a little light sand. I sanded all on the inside of all the wheel wells. So all the wheel wells are all done. I sanded a lot of the A-pillar. So I got all the A-pillar. Sanded all around all the edges, around the windows. Sanded more down in here by hand. And I sanded all on this edge by hand. I mean, it's a process. You can go get it media blasted, but you're more out to warp panels than if you just take your time and sand it like this. So I just wanted to show you how clean those panels actually line up. They look kind of far off, but once you get down here and look at it, they're all basically pretty smooth. This car's doors never fit that good. The trunk lid lines up really well. These doors line up very well. So once we grinded all those layers of paint off, you can see that it lines up really well. So now we just got to go through and start fixing all our body work. And there's a trick I want to show you how to figure out where all, now you're like, a lot of people would sand this far down and be like, oh my lord, now where all my dents are. There's a trick I want to show you. So when I start to do body work, I want to show you the little trick that I have, so you don't rust out the bare metal that you got, because we want to leave all this stuff bare metal. And everything that I got here, it's real light. This is real light. There's hardly any material on here. I just figured I'd just leave that so there's a little bit more, so when I go to spray my direct to metal high build primer, or I can use some epoxy, which I have both. I can use epoxy, which I would just do all my body work, spray epoxy, and then spray my high build right over the top. I can do that. But the epoxy, the only thing with the epoxy, it doesn't sand worth a crap, so it gums up all your paper. So this was just a little A little bit of work, but you can do it too. Oh, and this right here, this must have been from the factory, because when I sanded right here, this was like the original paint went all the way through into this. So I'm not too sure. There was like a factory dent, because all the other dents were either pink colored or they were white. They weren't yellow. So I don't know. And it was a darker red primer. So I'm gonna fix all those little dents and show you the little trick I got, so you can figure out where all your dents are. So I just sanded everything down with 80 grit. 80 grit to get that down. And now we got something to lock a hold of our primer and our body filler. So when we go to finish off all our body work, that it has something to lock into. Like all these are all cleaned out. Around all the wheel wells are all ready. This thing's ready for a little bit of primers and a little bit of welding I gotta do. And we're ready to start spraying her down. Alright.